And that's how I ended up in a Jamaican bar playing Baccarat against a dude who was convinced he was an Oompa Loompa.
Huh?
He wasn't very good.
What is Baccarat?
I don't know. I've never played.
What?
That one day.
Like
He tried to-
Baccarat, like the artist?
It's a card game. Or
Was
thing.
Ernie with you?
Not that day. No.
Oh, that sounds like a
You
sus
cannot
Ernie
convince
thing.
me that Ernie did not come out that to destroy you. You cannot convince me.
But really, though, I was in
They
some
both didn't say
sketchy,
anything. Jeez.
sketchy Jamaican bars once.
Oh,
My
down
mom
there,
hated
alright.
me for it. Anyway, here we are, podcast number 134. And today we're talking about expectations versus reality when it comes to car modding. And I want to start this off with a line that I saw the other day, and it applies to almost every situation.
Mm-hmm.
When you're modifying your car, you're trying to make it go faster, not be more reliable.
Ooh, that's actually a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that gets overlooked or just misconstrued along the way.
Mhm.
And we talked about it last time. When you're doubling or tripling the horsepower that your vehicle comes with,
Yep.
you cannot expect it
I call
to
it
be 100% OEM reliable. If you want that,
keep it OEM.
keep it factory.
This and that's what I kind of call like the need for speed effect. You know, a lot of our newer customers, and I'm being totally serious, they will see you play video games or play Forza or play whatever you got, and like, oh, I can do all these mods to it. Man, this thing's so fast. Like, the reality of this part is, hey, this thing breaks in the real world about 10 times before it runs.
Yeah.
Or even, I'll even take it a step further. Social media, the TJ Hunts, all those other guys, they do these things unrealistically for most people.
Yep.
And then they go out and race them on 1320 and they're racing, 1,000 horsepower cars and stuff like that. That's what we have to remember in general with car modding is that's the snapshot of what you're seeing.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't see the failures. You don't see the broken parts. You don't see the broken engines. And some people do. There are plenty of YouTube channels out there.
Yep.
But I definitely think that has misconstrued. Is misconstrued a word? I think
misconstrued
it
is a word.
Yeah.
Three or four times. All right. This current generation of car modification people.
Yes.
I think it's had a larger effect that we've definitely seen more in the last few years.
Yeah. I think my generation was the last one before the wool was pulled over everybody's eyes about car modding, because I definitely grew up knowing it was not easy.
Oh
In it, and I think you were too back in the day, changing your own engines
Oh,
in
yeah.
your Saturn and
having to be at work the next day.
the school of hard knocks, just going through it and
The
learning.
whole,
it.
like, if I don't fix this, I will not go anywhere tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got to put an engine back in this tonight.
Yeah, the
Yes.
amount of times the night before having to go to work or school or whatever, and you're just like, this needs to get fixed, and then you're halfway through and you're like, I hate every moment. of
But
everything.
see, that is
It's hard. It's a process.
That's the thing too. Like car modding in general has become a little more mainstream now. So
It has, which-
things like
yeah.
that.
Good
Which
and
is
bad.
good. Yeah.
Good and bad.
So now, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
No, I think I love what Tyler said about just you're not modding it for reliability, but I think all of our platforms have a
Sweet spot.
sweet spot, or like where you cross over on the teeter totter,
Uh-huh.
And for like me, that would be a stage 1 kit on an LNF. You're good. You're good to go.
You are.
You got a clutch
Yeah.
and a stage 1 kit on an LNF.
That thing
I
ain't
would
never
almost say
breaking.
you add maybe a little reliability.
I mean,
Maybe.
yeah, stage sensors.
Yeah.
And the intercooler.
And the intercooler, yeah. Yeah, there's certainly a point that every chassis or engine combo will cross, in which, like, we know that a Sonic sealed stock block 300.
Yep.
If you don't want to go anything above that, as long, there's always a caveat, as it's been well maintained and cared for.
Well
and we know
maintained and
a
careful.
lot of those 1.4s, people have been running 87 in them for years.
87, letting coolant leaks get in there. Still
No
driving
oil-
on
no
blower.
oil changes.
No oil changes stuff. We've
The
seen them all.
Sonics do not, and cruises.
Cruises.
They do not get oil changes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Like the oil light goes off at 8,000 miles, and they're like, meh. I'll
And
get her
also-
done by 10.
Also, that meter in the car is...
Oh yeah, the oil life meter.
Yeah.
Mom, if you're watching out there somewhere, I'm sorry, I'm about to get you. So my mom, it took me about 4 years of telling her every day, the oil life is not how much oil you have in your car.
Yeah.
There's only 5% left.
I was like, Mom, You just have oil in your car.
Yep.
That is calculated by the amount of miles you drive and then how much viscosity it thinks the oil has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
like-
still like a calculated guess.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So,
based
like,
on.
You should be changing it
All
well
sorts of
before it gets
things.
to zero.
Yep.
Like well before that. Like
I don't know what it really is based on.
So I think it's temperature times miles
Yes.
and run cycles.
Yeah.
From what I've read.
It's not
before,
just
so.
a little thing that resets and just counts.
No.
No.
Are you
It
sure?
certainly-
It
certainly
varies.
is. And then you have to realize that that's from the company that is selling you a thing. So like, it's not in their best interest to make that wholly accurate.
So, yeah.
yeah.
GM,
From what we see, GM is 7,000 to 8,000 miles.
they make a lot of money on
And
repairs.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend any oil and filter that can go that long, even the best of the best.
You know,
Like Mobile One's like, you can go 10,000 miles. And I'm like, no.
no.
Absolutely
The
not.
best thing you can do, and change it on an even number like 90,000, and then change it on 95, and then change it on 100, and then change it on 105.
Mhm.
And that's what I do on all of my stuff.
I just do 3 to 5,000.
Yeah,
I do 3 to 5,000.
and I think 3 is an older
Yep.
school thing. I mean, the synthetic oils now are really, really good, and
Yeah.
and you can take the extra time and care and pay for Blackstone to do an oil analysis, and
Yep.
like there's so many tools out there that can give you a good indication of your engine's
Yep.
health and what it's doing. I mean, if you have an LNF and it's spitting out porous block juice like that.
By the way, guys, we will be putting this recipe for porous black drink in the chat. Mike will be typing it up. He's the guy that's talking about that. So I'm deeming this porous black juice. This is this drink. It's alcoholic. No for the kiddies.
It's not for the kids.
Let's catch up with the chat a little bit. What's up, Captain Slow, Brad
Hey, Matt.
Keys, Sebastian Morris,
Morrison,
Ruti
yeah.
from Alaska.
Alaska. Dang.
And then there's the old Bill Kish.
Bill
Good
Kish.
Oh,
afternoon.
yeah, hey guys.
Welcome everybody,
Hey.
Brad. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to your messages. It's been a busy couple days.
Bill,
but
did you get some
Yeah.
parts to fix up that old 3800 valve train, bud?
what do you do to it? Oh,
goodness.
yeah, and drop the lifter.
yeah. Well, we'll talk about that soon. So, guys, I do want to say too, as we're kind of getting into it too. I want to talk about what are some actual expectations, things you can do to have a successful build. We made a video about this 3 or 4 years ago, but I think it'd be a good idea to bring it up. I want to talk about what are some things that we can talk to our customers and our people watching. What do you think are some good things you can do to have successful, no matter the platform?
Well,
I have a few in my head already.
I think one of the obvious ones, and I'm sorry if I'm taking it,
Go for it.
is create a plan.
Yes.
And I've preached this before. Don't buy your stuff 3 or 4 times. Don't hop
buy
on
once,
market.
buy once, cry once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite once.
Cry once.
Quite once.
Don't hop on marketplace, and we are all victims to this. You see a part and you're like, heck yeah, I am going to get that now.
Yep.
And it is your life's mission to go get it. But stop, take a second. Are these lowering springs what you really want? You know, it's this what you want your car to become. Is that going to be the best route? So take a step back, think, maybe I should save up. For coilovers.
To kind of build off of that, and I'm gonna just kind of give it to you guys out there straightforward. Tyler's saying be patient. Just because you have $100 in your pocket doesn't mean if you have to spend it.
Mm-hmm.
Put it aside. I'm not gonna touch
Oh,
this
I
until
was
I get
so
what I want.
bad with that for so long.
There's a story around here about the frog story.
Uh-huh.
So guys, back in the day we had a customer that we had it was like 2 or 3 weeks out of stock on a part. Like, hey, we're having like 2 weeks. We're getting it made right now. We called the customer back a while ago. He had the money for it ready to go. He had it back. Said, "Oh no, I spent that money." He was like, "Well, what did you buy? You've been waiting on this part for like a while now." He's like, "Oh, I went and bought a frog with it." Like a frog? Like get just a frog?
Like the one that you lick and you get high?
Yeah, that one. It must be. But so instead of having
his intercooler,
his
whatever.
intercooler, whatever it was, he had to. The money was burned a hole in his pocket. He had a little bit, so he had to spend it. He's saying, "Be patient."
Yeah.
Again, we are all victim to it, and see, and over time, builds change, but there are certain things that you kind of don't need to rebuy. Like for me, I've changed my seats in my Cobalt a few times, but my tastes have grown and this and that stuff like that. But if I was smarter, I just would have got it all and did it the first time. I went through 4 seats in my car, 4 sets of seats,
and it's not to say that doing that isn't part of like the learning process. I mean,
Absolutely.
you buy your crappy eBay lowering springs the first time, and you're like, yeah, these are great, and you justify your purchase, and then you get a year into them, and you're like, these are
terrible.
Not
that
good.
that happens.
I think the biggest thing is just figure out the purpose for what you're doing with your car. You know, do I have to drive it to work every day? Is this my only means of transportation?
Yes.
Or is this my weekend car?
Don't put a 257 kit on your daily driver.
Or is it somewhere in between? You know, like really figure out your purpose for the car. Maybe the roads you're driving with it, the events you want to attend with it. You know, and then just kind of execute from there. You know, get a recipe to go together on what parts you need, and try and knock out some things in stages. You know, if you can tackle the brakes and the suspension, and then try the engine. Don't just tear the whole car apart at once.
Yeah.
If you don't need to, you know, I mean, it's cool to do that and just have it on jack stands for 7 years, but you know, just
project car.
do it in stages, do it where you can, and just the biggest thing is don't overdo it, I would say.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to put together something because all the parts are available, and then you get into it and it's more than you wanted, and it's maybe not as reliable as you wanted.
I want to grab one from the chat. MT Flood. Boundary race pumps installed on any of your Ecotech cars. I am not familiar with what a boundary race pump is.
Yeah, don't know what that is.
So if you want to explain, we can answer that. But I'm going to guess no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So my input, I got like a 3-parter here. My list of 3 things. I really like what Bo said about setting an idea of what you have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of expound on
Visualize,
that.
you know?
Yeah. Have a budget.
Budget, that's big.
number one.
Budget's needed.
Because I get customers saying, "Hey, I want to build this. Money is no object." You're lying.
I'm
guys.
99.999% of the time.
Yeah, no, I'll say almost 100 guys. If you didn't have a budget, you would have a Ferrari or a Porsche GT Carrera or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you'd have some crazy car. We all have budgets. I can't go out and spend $100,000 on my car this week.
Yep.
You know, like that's what it is. Number 2, if this is your daily, have another daily.
Yeah.
This is a huge one.
Oh,
if you are modifying your car, even with basic parts, there may be a downtime with warranty stuff. There may be any sort of downtime. Have another way to work.
Every 20-minute project is one broken bolt away.
Well, that's what you literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, I'll just throw on this Z54 over the weekend, which is a feasible task.
Very feasible.
But, you know, you realize you forgot a gasket or a bolt broke, and then you're calling Ryan Monday morning pissed because you can't get to work, and you know you're trying to overnight a gasket,
and then you blame ZZP because you decided to take the project on and stuff like
you have to realize when you call in, we are all car people here. We understand what you're going through, but we also know all of the mistakes you made to get to this point.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Or like if it's an Ecotech, those exhaust manifold bolts, those aren't fun.
No.
And they like to
No,
break.
like I did the Z04 on my little daily the other day, and I already knew that I was gonna destroy those copper
the nuts
on the turbofold, and I was like, I'm already ready. I'm a 1.4 boy. I have the extractor already here. Tapped her on, came right out. I was like, see, if you wouldn't have known that, if you haven't worked on the car a couple times, there's no way you would have known that.
We are a weird breed here that have multiple and have built multiple of these vehicles. So like you get to know the tips and tricks on the things that you will need.
Yes.
Or the special tools or whatever it might be. Like that old saying of the right tool will save you, so much time is so
very
true.
Extremely true.
It's so good to work at the shop here because we got everything.
Yeah.
Jordan, you probably don't want the Sonic currently. Not in the current stage that it's in.
I mean, he probably will. Randy, you got a special Sonic. So, but yeah. So on top of it, so we got actually have a realistic. I would say a realistic budget for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you know I want to build the baddest cobalt on the planet, and you're trying to stretch your budget to only eat ramen, even though I've done this many times, for like 3 months, guys. Remember, that's actually my third point. So budget, have a backup, and remember to still live your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, trust me, we want to sell you car parts. We love selling you car parts, but is it worth you being pissed off about your car and not being up the entire summer?
Yeah.
Well, we talk about it all the time. It's tough. We're so emotionally attached to our car's well-being.
Mm-hmm.
If your car's down, you're down.
You're down.
If your car's doing good, you're doing good. But
we joke around about it. Like, when you wash your car and you drive it the next time, it
Oh,
just like
magic.
feels different.
Oh,
like you're in a better mood
The
somehow.
serotonin is flowing, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just like,
It's
hell
that
yeah.
type of weird
A
stuff.
nice warm summer day, freshly washed car, music down. Then the exhaust just sounds right to you. You're like, oh,
You're like,
Yep.
that's-
Can't tell me
You got
anything,
the
right?
right music on.
Can't tell me a damn
I can't even
thing.
tell these tires are worn out.
And that's like, I wanted to bring up the base model. I've had the base model for,
73 years.
9-10 years now.
Yeah.
And all along the way, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put a blower on. I'm gonna put a blower on. I'm gonna put a blower on.
You were the true definition of patience.
I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
and
which
the
is
right
unlike
time
Tyler.
for the right mod.
Yeah. And I did intake, downpipe, exhaust, suspension stuff, all that, and it has been perfect. Like
Yep.
that has always been the car that no matter what, I hop in it.
Yep.
I can go for my cruise. It might be slow as heck, but like now I'm to the point where I have too many cars, and I'm
Yes.
like, well, while I'm in there
Yeah.
Yeah.
changing some suspension, might as
See,
well
but that's
throw a
okay
blower
when
on
you
it.
have backups for your backups for,
For
your
your
backups.
Yeah.
And guys,
No problem.
like, to speak on Tyler's behalf on that, there's been a day where I'm like, Tyler, I need a car to drive home. It's like, dude, you can just take the base model.
Yep.
I've driven his base model at home because he's been a bro and let me hook it up 4 or 5 times. One day when his wife's Erica's car was down, I saw her driving
The
past
base model.
job. And the base, I'm like, that's Erica.
Oh,
Yeah.
So just going right down there.
all
so.
80% throttle down 28.
So grab back on the pump gears. We don't have any hardened oil pump gears in our Ecotechs.
Don't need it.
They do provide a benefit, yes, but generally you don't see those pump. I mean, those pump gears are beefy.
Al,
on
ha-
an
Al,
Ecotech.
ha- Al has his caps locks on right now,
Yeah.
waiting to reply.
Yeah. Now, if you're sitting banging the two-step, yeah, you might wear them out. But
Yeah.
realistically, the downfall with that stock oil pump is cavitation at higher RPMs. Most people aren't going to be there.
Yeah.
If you are pushing it to that level, yeah, do hardened oil pump gears as a safety net. But you still got something that you're going to push past anyway.
I have never had a need for that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I have one of the best examples of a highly pushed LNF vehicle on the planet. So
Yeah, we run
Yeah.
stock oil pump in all of our stuff.
yeah, caps like it's two step.
Yep.
Yep. Not
So
wrong.
yeah, guys. So I mean, so that's good. So in all, just to recap real quick, we have budget, we have
Plan.
we have a daily, and then be realistic and live life. And then what else we got over there? Like, what is thing for a successful build over that side of the table?
I mean, so to prepare yourself for a good build for me, anyways, is really research.
Yes.
I don't.
Uh-huh.
I know we're not
That's
in
like-
the age of forums anymore, but I would research things to death.
Yeah.
before I
Enjoy
did
the
stuff.
research.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that is
like,
you should, if you're not into it,
Learn what the heck you're buying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what does it do? And
Yeah.
why?
yeah, like we're in the era where like we were talking about with YouTube builds, like if you don't make 4 digits, don't
Listen.
even talk about it. Basically,
Yeah, that's
basically.
not realistic.
and that's not realistic for anybody here.
No.
Like,
well, and I think we do a great job on providing the research basically on a silver platter most times. I read our ZO4 Turbo Kit product page. Shouts to Tyler for working on all the product pages. What a beautiful just layout. It's not
Yeah.
like, here's your ZO4 Turbo.
Yeah.
buy this and you will do
Like,
this.
it really just runs you through, and like, we try and help you guys, but you can do your own research as well.
Incoming rant. Read the actual pages.
Yeah, we
Brothers
pages
and
have a lot
sisters
of
in
info.
Christ.
I take
Read
the time
the pages.
to put together a good product page with as much info as I can give.
Because you have ADHD, do not email me asking me what stuff says on the
That's it.
product page.
I don't know what HD is.
Doctor said I got 8 submitted. Yeah.
But guys, seriously, like that's just another little pet peeve of mine. Like,
Yeah.
we don't mind helping, but like when some of the bases that are easily researched or
Well,
on the page, I will get annoyed if
Uh-huh.
I'm answering your question. Like, if you say, "Hey, does this fit this?" and then I go to the product page and it literally says what it fits
In
because you-
red,
in
bold.
red.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
scroll down a little bit, people.
Nobody knows how to measure push rod length or wants to know how to measure push rod length.
We had like 7
You know
videos.
how I learned how to measure a push rod back in the day? ZZP product page.
Yeah.
I read the product page. I had the engine in front of me, and I just did it. I was like, wow, Look at
That
this.
was easy.
I know how long of push rod I need to
wow.
order. Boom, bam, thank you. And now we even have a video on it and some other stuff, and I'm talking about making another one.
Not only did you make a video, you put a GoPro on your forehead to look down at it so people could see.
He had like
from
body cam.
Yeah,
Yep.
for like people are
POV.
here.
POV.
Brothers and sisters in Christ, I love you guys. But read the product pages.
I'm assuming most of the guys, in the chat, that we know that they do
these
this.
guys
So
do.
this
We're
is
not yelling at you
to
guys.
Yeah.
everyone else.
Jordan Creveling, you just asked something
To the
spicy
masses.
strike pea. No, I don't know. Scroll up. You will see we call this LNF Pours Juice.
Horse juice.
LNF Pours Black Juice.
Sebastian Morrison LE5 car, honestly, a blower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And you can't hurt LE5 with a blower, really. Like, you gotta
bigger
try real
pulley,
hard.
like a 3.1.
3-0.
3.0.
That's the guy with the iron that we did the race.
Yeah. Oh wait, he already has
already
one.
has one.
Oh,
okay.
well,
Perfect.
so do what you did.
I would do a KO4, but that's because I'm a LNF Turbo boy.
KO4 on a 2.4.
Give me
No.
So-
give
Not
me
a KO4.
400.
I
400
popped a
foot
2.2 on a
pounds.
KO4. I'm good.
Yeah.
No.
400 foot-pounds of torque, 250 horsepower.
Yeah.
I'm good.
400 foot-pounds of torque on an LE5 or a LAP, in my case, is not good for rods at all.
No.
You don't want to do that.
Listen, your logic is sound.
There-
Stop.
we had a former employee who had a LE5
yeah.
Cobalt, and we put the original KO4 kit because the original Z54 entry level went on eventually Bo and I's Ion, and he had the KO4 one, and that thing made like I want to say it was close to 500 foot-pounds the first time they got it on the dyno. Like the
Oh yeah.
boost controller was all the way in, and Alec had it on.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
I
all the
know.
way shut.
And it was just like,
whoa!
Yeah.
The torque
He's like,
spike.
oh, all right, we gotta turn that down.
Yeah.
That was a good time. I want to do it.
Well, speaking of 2.4s, shout outs to our good customer Nicholas Zink. We did his LNF this summer.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
He is dropping off his 2.4 at the end of the month,
Heck
and
yeah.
we're doing our turbo swap kit with a Z54.
Nice.
Cool.
That's gonna be a fun
And
car.
he even went for the ported head and a set of cams. It's gonna be
Is this his wife's car?
yeah,
It's like
wife's-
his wife's
Oh.
daily, right?
Yep.
Well,
we're-
speaking of talking about dailies,
We're looking to make like 400 to the tire on pump gas, probably a little less,
Woo.
maybe for some dyno pulls, and
I
then
don't
we'll
know.
dial it back.
2.4 is a lot of cubes. Might happen.
It'll do it
Ain't
super
no
easily, in my
replacement for
opinion.
displacement,
wait,
bro.
are we building a block on this
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Well, it's an
Uh,
08, so it's the best one, but
Yeah.
we decided to forge it too. So
Please, okay. I'm thinking stock rods. I'm like, oh, so we're doing the quick disconnect rods on this thing.
Yeah, variable compression.
Variable-
I personally love the 2.4. The longer I've worked here, the displacement is
It's
noticeable.
It's our
Plus-
big block.
Plus,
That's the real big block.
you get variable cams. So
I need better
that's
friends.
a bonus.
Yeah, no, the LE5.
It's a good little engine.
It's a
Yeah.
really good engine. The downfall is that you can't rev it out, but you
Yeah,
don't
they don't
need
like
to.
to spin. Yeah,
Like,
It's
but they're-
grunty.
They're strong
it's
little
it's
engines.
grunty. It really is.
So, Sebastian, ZZP 4340 rods that we have on the website, and either JE or Diamond Force pistons, and then our headsets. That's all you really need to do, and then you have a pretty beastie.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that block is good
Yeah.
for.
Yes,
playing.
Jordan. That did contradict that. Yeah, but we're talking about expectations. If you go into it knowing that you're gonna mess it up and you have another daily behind, you're good.
Yeah, if you expect you're gonna screw up, then you're one step ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure. So we have this long list of things that in general will make a good bill. I think a small thing as well is organization. Like knowing where things are, especially you guys can probably talk about this better. How long is spent looking for the 10 mil?
Ooh.
How long, like when you
Me,
set it down,
If I tallied it up,
I'm not too bad. I'm organized.
you're organized. You're the outlier here, but like
So
by 1.5 tap.
yeah,
ooh, yeah.
that's something that
like
goes away pretty
tools
quickly.
are lost and parts when you're putting your car back together are just lost. Like I can't
Yeah.
find it. Where does little one part go? Why is it not in the spot I left it?
I think that's a good thing, in the reality realm of
Mhm.
this is get yourself some good tools. Now you don't need Snap-on, you don't need any of that.
No.
Just build out your toolkit.
Yes.
Don't be relying on your brother's uncle who lives down the road to use his impact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you can't get your
Yeah.
axle nut off or something.
I mean, I've talked to you guys about the 301 Harbor Freight toolkit that I've
Mhm.
used over the years. The Harbor Freight 301 piece mechanics toolkit, an engine stand, and their cherry picker.
Mm-hmm.
And you are now certified.
You're
Mechanic.
But beyond that, Sarah always calls it. I have this table, like white fold-out table. What am I trying to say? I don't know.
Yeah, like a fold-out picnic table kind of thing.
Yeah, and I flop that thing out,
just like that. Just go
push it against the wall, and I got my Ziploc bags out, and I got a Sharpie there.
Masking tape, Sharpie, Ziploc bags.
Maybe even
move.
I got some cookie sheet or some muffin pans for the guys that work really good for nuts and bolts.
That was a great idea.
So, just some organization like that. So when you take it apart, it's right there. And I normally lay it right in order because it normally comes back right in order.
Yeah.
And and then that 301 piece kit, or even any of Harbor Freight's kits. Harbor Freight tools, they'll get you going really good.
Oh yeah, and I, personally at home, all I have is Husky.
Husky stuff is all right.
Lifetime
I
warranty.
literally just broke a Husky torque wrench the other day, and I was like, man, they're gonna give me grief going to the store. Walked in, the lady was like, go grab another one, have a nice day, and I was like, ooh.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Oh, and
it's
guys, another tip that actually Tyler gave to me, and I love it, and I still do it every winter. Is
I had a good idea.
Yeah, right? Surprising. It was the masking tape to-do list.
Oh yeah.
On the car.
Oh,
So
yeah,
guys,
the painter's tape.
Yeah, guys, so get painting tape or masking tape, like the blue stuff, just get it and just set out, write down something, rip it off, set it on your windshield.
Front brakes.
Just front brakes. This.
Oil
so
line.
Every time
whatever.
you do something, you rip it off and your list gets smaller and it is
So satisfying.
It's so satisfying.
Oh,
Also,
just real good.
I want to add to this. My Snapchat memories from 4 years ago was the black Ion. I took it all apart over the winter, and I redid the cooling system and the exhaust and the brakes and everything. And the
list was long.
Was like 3 columns, and it was the first thing I had pulled off of it. And I have a Snapchat memory of it, and I was like,
yeah,
that
but
was good.
There is something good about it.
And then I didn't align the car, and I ruined the tires in 20 miles.
That'll
God
do it.
dang it, Tyler.
I graduated from masking tape to whiteboard.
Yeah, I got a whiteboard.
I just got a whiteboard in my garage this year too, so that's.
I need to take your and my own advice and do like the muffin tins or the Ziploc bags, because when stuff comes apart at my house, it is all in magnetic.
You guys,
one day all in.
Yeah, that would make my brain itchy.
So the magnetic tray is only for transporting initially. They go into the tray and then you empty the tray.
I took it a little step further, and I have like a pack out tray, or like you can get like the organizational hardware bins at Harbor Freight for like $2-3.
You guys need to see Tyler's garage out there.
Oh, it is.
Like,
don't come
thing.
over right now.
It's a thing.
Horrible.
Like, guys, he has enough random parts. I think he can possibly build another Cobalt and a half.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It was like, where'd you get this other Cobalt? You're like, it was just here the whole time.
Parts.
And then you go into the attic, and you're like,
there's the rest of the car bar.
I have like 6 exhausts up there.
Yeah.
And multiple hoods and sets of seats, and like so this is kind of weird, but I had a dream the other day that I had a garage sale, but it was like a VIP garage sale where
Michigan Suburbans love my car
and
sales.
I let people in one at a time, and they got to look through everything in the garage.
What kind of museum ass shit
so
is
I
this?
said, if you want anything, consult me. And I
what are you
stood by the door, and I was like,
what are you, some concierge or whatever? Concierge?
No, you can't have that.
What are you?
I do that every time I come to your house anyway. I'm like, hey, what's up with this LNF seat? I need that for a racing
I just wish there were 3,800 parts.
Tyler is an outlet.
Need to sell me a Cobalt and an Equinox, and then I would say that I'd buy a 3,800, but I don't know. But Jordan, if I found a good enough deal, I really want to build one.
Jordan, don't mention goblins in here. I hate goblins. Yeah. Goblins are the biggest waste of any vehicle on the planet. You ruin decent Cobalt. And don't just say, I took apart a freaking wrecked one. Everyone does that. It's probably fixable. You're taking apart good Cobalts to make cars that people are going to sell 10 times because no one likes them. You drive it once, you ride it to the night rate.
Pickers' new TV show.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ecotech Pickers.
If it's a Michigan Pickers, then we have to have multiple people, so you can just get let me scoot right past you here every time somebody goes around here.
The base model's in there, and they just like start removing parts, and they're like, "Can I have this?" And I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, sure.
Like the door comes off. I need this.
I have a door if anyone needs one.
See
We were
what I'm
just talking
about?
about trashing that the other day.
I know,
Oh.
but it's a good door. Al will understand the reference.
Yes.
It's a good door.
Good door.
No, Jordan, yours was definitely not fixable.
Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, you get a pass.
He put that boy in a tree.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, but
That's I mean, Paul did that last time we went to the. No, not Justin did that to Paul's goblin last time we went to the.
yeah. Well, he didn't put it in a tree.
Well,
Close
just into the
Ooh,
mountains.
that's a good one. Expectation: the wheel bearing is going to pop right out. Reality: no.
Yeah,
Guys,
never.
Also, that's actually another one about expectations for reality. And then I gotta move on to something else. But yeah, your 2-hour job, it says, oh yeah, book time is 2 hours. It's probably gonna take you
Quadruple it. 4
I'm
times
down-
whatever you think it
I'm
is.
down for
Quadruple it.
I'm down for
That
that.
is
Whenever
my-
you get into that wheel bearing that's stuck or that anything that's stuck, my thing is I stand up, I clean up a little bit, I go in the house, I wash my hands. I come back out with clean hands, and then I'm just
And the
I-
brain
Yeah,
is clean
it's
too?
like, it's like a different mindset.
Yeah.
You like wash the hands. You're like da. You go out to the shop and it's like a different
Yep.
map in a video game. You're like, all right, I know exactly.
And then you
what to do
normally
now.
like 10 minutes later you got it.
Yep.
Actually, great. I felt like I had a really big brain this day. I had a stuck wheel bearing on one of the Cobalts, and I rigged up. I punched out one of the studs on the wheel bearing, and then I put a bolt through with a nut on the backside
push
and a
it through.
plate, and I hammered it home with the impact, and the whole thing came right out. And
Yeah.
I was like, I am smart.
The brain wrinkled at
Yeah,
that point in
it
time.
wrinkled in one little area.
It's not really a wrinkle. It's just like a single like wave.
Just a wave down there. All right. So guys, so in talk with this, we have some good tips for everyone out there. Now, as far as speaking about reliability and modding cars for their lots of horsepower,
Uh-huh.
when you are driving a car and you have, let's just say, let's throw out there, say you come up to us and you build a S257 crazy built engine, E85 low boost Regal, for instance. Shut up.
Okay. All right.
All right, yeah.
I'm here.
And you go out there and then you think you can go do 4 or 5 top speed runs in a row. Is that smart? The answer is no. So guys, I mean, that's just an example for any of our builds. Like if you're building a car with this max amount of horsepower, the first thing you should do is not go on the highway and let's see what it can do at the top end.
Let it eat.
Yeah, that's a really easy way to blow up your car. Yes,
Yeah.
are there some races sometimes every once in a while? Maybe.
Yeah.
Some of you guys out there, we see these cars come back. We see the scans.
Yeah.
You're doing like 5 or 6 top speed runs in a row, brothers and sisters in Christ. That is not the way to do it.
I wanted to bring up something that you mentioned earlier, and this goes along with the planning thing, with the, organize, do some research. We had a customer who has a stock blower LSJ, and he's jumping straight to, I want 450 wheel.
Oh yeah,
and for it to drive like stock. I'm afraid of, it being like this big tire ripping torque monster.
Yep.
Like one of the best things you can do, and I'll recommend this to anyone in any market, is make some friends in your same chassis, whatever it may be. Because let me tell you, going from a stock blower car to a Z54 E85 full build 400 plus wheel,
massive,
totally different.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that's too much.
Yep.
But with the internet and all these YouTube people, like 400, it ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's
400 in a Delta car.
I'm
That's a
about
lot.
usable horsepower.
Yes.
If you can put the power to the ground and go around corners, everything's great.
400 in any of our platform cars is pretty.
It's
It's a good level.
The tip over for me is the 350 400 wheel mark. That's when things start to get a little like you get a tiny cant of the road go off this
And
way.
whoop!
If you're doing that at full throttle, even in a 300 horsepower Sonic, it's like you're going this way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you have to to really balance that. I feel like.
Well, that's the thing. Like you guys just said a minute ago. Like there's this unrealistic expectation that every car on the road it's not anything if it's not making tons of horsepower. And I bring this example up a lot. So guys, we have a friend of the shop named Taylor Lear, works at ZZPerformance down south in Georgia, I believe.
It's Georgia, yep.
Yep. So he tunes 2000. Oh no. So he tunes 2000, 3000 horsepower R8 twin turbo stuff, GTRs, all these crazy cars that are doing low like 8s,
he drives a 7-second Porsche.
7-second Porsche. He has
762.
He has a vehicle himself, a ZR1 now, Corsa C6, and he's told us multiple times that my 600 horsepower Ion is still my favorite car.
Yeah.
It has our turbo kit on it. He did the tuning on it, so he's like, you know what? The other cars, they feel tame and they are faster, but it's an experience driving this car.
Yep.
And that's what I like. And there has to be a realistic expectation of what you're getting. Like, not everybody's gonna have a 1400 horsepower Evo that's out racing Vipers all the time and stuff like that. And honestly, guys, you don't need that much horsepower just because your buddy says, "Oh, I'm making 800 horsepower." Are you really? And then also, you'll probably get beat by a 500 horsepower car that can put the car power down a little bit better.
Like, we were talking about this today.
Yeah.
A 400 horsepower Delta chassis car is dramatic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it's...
Same
You're
for
grabbing
a 3800,
gears.
400 horsepower 3800 is the same.
Yeah.
It's...
And like the 300... That's why we love the Sonic at right around 300 wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels
Spicy.
dramatic and spicy.
Yeah.
But you're never going warp speed. You're not, getting arrested for doing a pull on the highway. Like,
yeah.
Like, I think...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, Tyler and I were getting on 196 one day, and you were in the LSJ. I think Tyler was just behind me, and I was getting onto the highway. I was like, I'm going to roll on it. And I rolled on it, and I could hear Tyler like, whee! And it was just like...
Yep.
And I was like, this is a 300 horsepower tiny car versus a 2-liter LSJ. Like, it's just a completely different feeling between the chassis. So.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Turbos
Also,
are the way.
I saw Mark. No, unless you're talking about F-body stuff, the big brake F-body kit should fit under 16s, right? But definitely not the monoblock Brembo kit that we have.
So, let's go. Shane Hatfield was saying, how to run a drag rail constantly to have traction gets old. He is a great example. He had an 800 horsepower CTSV. They know that was on our dyno at one point in time. He also had an ATSV, and now he has his Model 3. His Model 3 is one of his favorite vehicles. But again, he's done all the high horsepower stuff that need to do and just to drive and stuff.
The Model 3, the torque vectoring that car uses for the all-wheel drive system is
ridiculous. Any of the Teslas.
Like, even in snow, Tim was saying, like, even in snow, if you mat at the throttle, you can feel the car like
just dancing around,
pulsing different hubs to get you to go straight. Like, it's a definite like cheater mod.
Absolutely.
When it comes to
but again, like, having to do all the crazy stuff, like, it's one of those things that, a lot of us normal guys stuff, like, when people say, it's the whole built not bought thing, but like, even in the car modding world, money wins.
Oh yeah,
like
100%.
Like, this twin turbo Mustang, whatever. Guess what? That twin turbo Mustang's turbo kit probably costs $13,000. He has to repair and do an engine on it every few months. Like,
I just feel like it just stinks because we're in the YouTube part of the world right now that like you see this just small glimpse of like this awesomeness that people do, and I'm like, when he gets home, he's pulling that motor. He's doing a full fresh rebuild for the next
whatever
season or event or whatever. It's not a daily drive.
No, that's saying, like, guys, these cool cars they're sweet to drive around and beat on occasion and stuff, but there's a reality that everyone needs to remember. Like, when you come up saying, I want a 700 horsepower this or 600 horsepower that for all time and stuff like that, like,
I think another thing that's a good way to set up your point of view, if you're able to do so, is don't build an all-season car. I mean, we all want a car that we can take to the track, we can take to the road course, we can, daily drive, all that. But it is so nice, like with the blue LSJ. I don't drive it a ton, but I know that I can hop in it, and I can go to the road course, and I can have a ton of fun. And I can, and I do daily drive it as well. But knowing that, like 2 years ago, last year, whatever. Last time I went to Grattan on a full road course day, I broke the car, put it on the trailer, and I was like, oh, cool, all right.
Yeah.
That's what this car is for.
Stress.
Yeah. No, I'll say that. However, those crazy people like me, like I think that building an all-season car is more fun. However, you have to go in, like we're talking about today, with expectations.
Yeah.
Like that car is mainly a car that will excel at a road course. However, I want to daily drive, go to shows, be able to drag race, do all the things. I know it's not going to excel at anything particularly unless I go hardcore with it, but I go into that knowing so.
Oh yeah.
You know,
this is one of the few things that Ryan and I see eye to eye on. I built an all-season Sonic.
Yeah.
Like, it's bagged. I go to car shows.
I think a lot of people get caught up in building a car that's going to impress the internet or impress a friend.
Yes, please, guys.
Like a friend. Like, I was talking to a guy the other day. He's like, well, I can't wait to go over and show my neighbor how much faster this is than his Corvette. And I'm like, well, are we just building it to beat the neighbor? Or are we building something that's going to make you genuinely happy?
If you
like, what do you want? Like, move all your outside
and like variables and
influences from the equation. What is going to make you happy? What can you turn the key on every morning and is good enough for you?
If your happiness is dependent on somebody else's,
not good.
Yeah, you should
probably not the
rethink.
I'm going to give a fantastic example of this. So the snowball. Disappointment, yeah. So the snowball is one of the greatest, and I'm not even being super cocky about it. I'm just going to say it though. The snowball is one of the greatest examples of a cobalt you can build. It gets recognition everywhere. It's fat. It's very fast. Makes a ton of power. It does all. I built a cobalt to the utmost level. However, if I go to a certain, let's say, Tuner Evo or WECFest, the general populace are like, man, that's cool for a cobalt. They'll get a picture or two.
Yeah,
but
for a cobalt.
You know, like in a general theme, no one thinks it's cool, whatever. But guess what? Every time I get in that car, I smile. And I will continue to go to shows and hopefully continue to win with it and get regular. Like, man, you built the best example of a domestic car that's JDM inspired and tuner built. Like, this is great. Whatever. Here's respect to you. Like, again, the car won best domestic at WECFest, which is like the Super Bowl of car shows for tuner cars. Like, and that's national recognition for it. But it got a few pictures.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. It's just Crazy Foot's comment. Only 16 likes. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thumbs up really helps.
It does. So but that's just an example. Like I'm not building that car for everyone. Like I'm building it to enjoy myself. I love the way I feel when I drive it. I love the experience of driving it.
It just makes it so much better.
It makes
like
I suffer from it hanging around here. You know, where spring rolls around. And we're tuning up the drag Sonic and shit. Crap talking about streetcar takeover, and I'm like, we got to spice the rig up.
That's right.
I got to set it on kill, and then I set it on kill and I break it, and then everybody's like, yeah, cool, dude. And then here I am with a broke car. And I'm like, oh man, you know. And then here I am alone in the garage again.
Instead of driving with the boat. That's it.
And then I just get it together, and it's like super modest and super tame, and everybody still loves it just as much. And here I am, twice as happy.
Because you can drive it to the dragon and back.
So, guys, hey, Paul Clark, guys, if you don't know, Paul is one of the pretty much everyone here. He has a 2JZ swap Sky. Saturn Sky. It is like the above snowball level builds of Skies.
I'm gonna be seeing that at the end of this month.
Yes, you are, guys. That's one of the only he and I both went down to.
He's got a really nice go-kart too.
I hate that thing. Freaking goblin. So Paul,
your dune buggy out there.
me and Paul have known each other for a long time as with Randy and stuff, but Paul and I at Grid Life South. We went down there. 2018. And that was the only car that year to beat me. Like, Paul beat me in that car because it is a sweet car. 2JZ and a Sky with big old wide legit wheels. He bought quality wheels. By the way, another part, expectations, buy quality parts.
Nope.
Oh,
not when it comes to wheels.
Nope.
And that's the house.
Buy reps.
Yeah, we're not easy.
We can't get into that.
Oh, we're doing
Moving on.
Buy quality wheels, boys and girls. But yeah, guys. So overall, I think expectations. You know, like kind of we were just kind of getting back to it. Like, you know, set a build budget, have backups. You know, when you call in a place. Also, one quick thing: if you guys are planning a build and starting off for the winter, do not wait 7 months to open your parts.
To open the stuff,
guys. Please, that's actually a really big one.
Open your box when you get it.
When you get it, just check
Admire
it over. Because if you come
make sure
back,
it's all there.
yeah,
Yep.
if you come back 10 months later saying, hey, I can't find this part, everyone in the world is gonna think you lost it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you gotta buy another one. Like if you tell me right away, hey man, I just got this yesterday. Here's all the parts I have. I'm missing this. You get a new part instantly.
Yep.
So just
I did also see. I'm sorry. Was it Glasser? We don't really have a lot for the diesel cruises, man. Like it's not a platform.
Suspension.
ooh, some guy named
brakes?
Suspension bits and brakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some guy named Ryan real quick says, talk about the expectation and reality of how slow ordering parts from other people versus you. Haven't found a quicker shipper. Oh yeah. So he's we try to send out parts fast, guys.
We do try.
We try. We're not always great at it, but we appreciate guys like you that are understanding.
Our shipping team is great, and
Yeah.
they
our
do
shipping and our kitting folks, dude, they rock
phenomenal
it all
job, and
shout out to all
everybody,
guys. There's a whole team. There's 50 employees. We got purchasing. We got fab. We got shipping. We got R&D. We got install bay. We
It's
got
just
CS.
like-
we got.
it's so cool, and I'm constantly reminded of it. It's so cool how we do everything in this building. Everyone is here.
Yeah.
We know everybody. You know everybody's name.
We know everybody.
And,
We fight with each other. We break bread with each other.
Yeah.
We have good times, bad times. It's
And like
So-
you said, open your stuff. We're all human. Somebody might have forgotten a
Yeah.
clamp or a gasket or a part or whatever.
you tell us
you know-
no, and you're not supposed to, hey man, I got these parts. It doesn't fit. Like,
If we
sweet,
if we screwed up,
we'll
we'll
own it,
overnight
and
it the next day.
we'll-
Usually,
and we'll-
like
we'll
Krieg
get it to you.
Krieg
Yeah,
is on
he
top of
stands by
that.
his stuff. Well, and
That's-
even like before we came up here, I was blasting out PCMs because if you buy a stage kit and it has a PCM in it, you know,
It's waiting on the.
they're waiting. They
Yeah.
have the parts ready. It's on me to get that dang PCM
Mhm.
out, and you know, I'm like, man, I gotta get my boys' parts out for the weekend. You
Yep.
know, I'm trying to
Yep.
relate to you guys. You know, if I ordered it on Friday,
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna want to see it shipped on Friday,
Yeah.
even though that you know we can't always do
PCM
it.
comes to my desk. I'm flashing that because I know you're sitting at home like,
Yeah.
Where's the tracking number? Where's the tracking number? Where's the
Oh my
tracking?
god.
Yeah.
But hey Anthony, too. I just want to touch on this too, and this is another thing too. I mentioned there's million Corvettes, million Mustangs challenges. Give me a call any day of the week. They are sweet. Now buy a car for like if you're playing a build, buy a car that suits that. Because if you want to get an H-body car and you want to be the fastest road course guy, that's probably not going to happen. If you want to build a Sonic to make 700 horsepower, probably not the best way to do
Great
it.
tool for the job. So this is
Essentially.
we'll wrap it up on this.
Yeah.
Don't buy a base model Cobalt and want to make LNF power and do LNF things.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, buy
I
the
know,
LNF.
Yeah. Speaking
If
as
you-
somebody who's done that, it's not worth it.
Not
No.
worth it.
If you
Because-
want to do 650 horsepower in a Cadillac, get the V.
Yeah, get
Yep.
Don't
Get the
get the
V.
2-liter.
Yeah.
And-
You know, and if you want to do a full build 3800 turbo car, don't do it with a Buick LeSabre.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to get the W body.
yeah,
Yeah.
get the GTP,
Where the
get
parts
the
and
Regal,
the
you know.
platform
Make it
to
easy
support.
on you.
Make it easy on us. Make it easy on you. The whole recipe will come together way quicker and
Unique
smoother.
cars run into unique problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they do,
Yep, yep,
and this isn't any fault to the people doing it, but when you buy or you have, you know, whether you inherited it or whatever
I mean,
whatever
that's
it might
tough
be,
too. There's always some reasoning behind it.
you
but-
know, there's always a reason that you have this other car. If you have to reach out and ask, hey, I want to do this really unique build on this specific car that might have the same engine as this other car, what can you guys do? If you have to send that email, you're probably not equipped to take it to the level that you want
Correct.
to take it to.
I get a
And
base.
that's not
That's not a knock on
dig,
you. Yeah.
But
Again, expectation
Yeah.
versus
take the if that's your goal, you want to do that in 5 years or whatever, put in the time, put
Yeah.
in the research, learn to weld, learn to fab, like, because you're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to do all that.
So yeah, it's
So like yeah, I
Or
get
maybe
base
just-
I guess base model guys like, hey, I want to put an LNF in it. Like, why? There's already a Cobalt that came with an LNF.
Mike,
Just get
go-
an
go
LNF.
ahead.
some dudes have done it.
Mike,
Yeah,
go ahead
some
and put
dudes have,
Al in
but-
timeout because I'm tired of his dad jokes.
Oh my god,
But-
guys, sorry, Randy.
No, go for it.
Okay, guys, we got a few rate my rides.
We do.
Rate my
We
ride.
got-
I got a couple
two,
rate my
maybe-
ride.
maybe
three.
That you looking at
My ride.
My ride.
You can
0 to
read-
60 in about 3.2
All right,
you can read the brochure.
seconds.
you can read the
The
brochure.
brochure.
Guys, if you ever send me a Too Fast Too Furious quote, I will know where it is, continue it, and go on from there. I love that movie. That's my favorite thing.
All right, Mike, who do we got?
All right, Mike, yeah.
Rate my rides.
What do you got?
Give me a number.
Rodriguez. He only gave us 2 pictures, but he gave us a rating of 3. So
Joseph
fair level.
Rodriguez.
Joe Rodriguez with a 3. Here we
With a
go.
3.
Sky.
All right.
All right. Okay. First thing, brother, this is a clean one. So you got the good one.
You got the good
black
headlights.
Good
However,
headlights.
Black
your-
is the best color sky.
Yeah.
That is true.
wrong. White is.
No.
No, yeah.
That's
White-
2 foot high off the ground.
Yeah,
Don't
2
like that.
Yeah, brother.
Way
you're,
too much tire, way too much lift.
Way too much tire. Way too much. If you can go down the
It was
sidewalk
like
a
60
bit.
series sidewalls. Jeez.
And I
Looks
can
like Grand
relate.
Prix, Sam.
I can relate. You know, I
We recently got
I
Bo
have
on the
done-
45 series sidewall.
Yeah.
40.
Oh,
40.
40. I'm sorry. Yeah,
40.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Yeah.
40, yep.
I've done nothing but shrink the sidewall and lower the car, and it does nothing but improve handling characteristics like you wouldn't even believe.
Yeah. A lot of people think you need bubble for tire. You need a little bit of stretch.
Yeah.
That looks
Just
like a
Yep.
17-inch wheel to me.
Yeah.
They
like,
look like 17s and are also black wheels. Never do it for me. They
No,
blend
they
into the
don't.
road.
They look like you haven't unlocked the wheels yet.
Exactly.
You
They
got
look like wheels
It's-
you haven't unlocked yet.
I like the design, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't really
I can
I
take
think
it or leave
tell
that
what
on.
they
it'd help
are.
if you just drop the tire size in the car.
Also, the black front grille.
Ooh, look at
Needs
that
to go.
exhaust.
The
Can we
exhaust-
get that? Can we get
Get
that picture
those
bigger?
tail lights
Can we get
out
that?
of
Oh
here.
my God!
I
What?
tinted my
is
taillights so they
going
work
on?
worse.
Brother, get the paint off the tail
Ugh.
lights. That has not been cool ever, not even for one day.
Is that,
So-
is that a luggage rack?
Yeah, so brother, you need
I
to
know. I
get-
think that's just the
Stop,
way
stop,
it's
stop.
going.
Okay.
Pixelation
It's just a
on
little
that.
pixel.
So also, please get rid of the tail light tint. That never looks good. All black does not look cooler or better. It looks cheaper. You have the Sky has a nice set of tail lights. Lower the car, get rid of the sidewalls, put your diffuser back on, like because you guys kind of
Yeah.
just parts hanging out there.
The red exhaust hangers don't do it for me either.
No,
Yeah,
that's-
I will say, I've always loved that New Mexico plate.
New Mexico plates hot sauce.
The black plate with the
Yeah.
white writing and the little
Hey,
chili
you-
pepper.
You know what? You know
It's
what
a
has it
little
too?
spicy.
Chicago has
Chicago has it, yeah.
a White
White
Sox.
Sox one,
And
yeah,
it's
I
white and
know.
black too, and that's just
Michigan, there was a bill that is going through the House or Senate or whatever. I don't know how government works.
Yeah.
That they are going to bring back the black and white plate.
but it only has 6 letters.
it only
That's
Oh,
okay.
6 digits?
and it's going to be twice the price
I'll pay it.
of the win.
You won't be able to
Wonderland.
get. You won't be able to get Shimar.
I
You
will-
won't
Rates
get
here are
Shimar.
like $4. so
I
who
will
cares?
pay it. It's like an extra $120 or something.
But it's
So-
only
Hey,
like
cool story.
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
here
Sorry,
we go.
dang it, Tyler. All right, guys, next one.
Kyle Martin, another 3.
Kyle Martin. Okay, what you got, brother?
Alright.
Yeah, baby. I actually
Okay, this
he
is
needs
pretty
to
cool.
he needs to paint the lip. I believe it is a carbon hood. I don't know. He's
Okay.
got
I
some.
believe it's carbon hood and trunk.
It's not.
They
They
do-
don't make a carbon
I say
trunk.
they don't make carbon trunks. Right?
Okay.
He's probably not finished. It's been a work in progress. Every time I see this dude's car, I just love to look at it because you just look and it's good. There's a lot of good things going on.
You got some
I
good stuff
really
here,
like
brother.
the
What's his name?
wheels.
His name is Kyle again.
Yep, Kyle
Okay,
Martin.
Kyle, brother. If you don't paint that lip body color, I'm gonna roll your car over
I
for
think
you.
I think the best thing you could do, Kyle, and is just because I've seen this gold done right, and you have the right wheel to make it right.
Correct.
yeah,
the
that
wheel,
is
the wheel,
just
the wheel is actually
is just
good.
work on getting the hood and the lip and even the trunk just paint match because it's gonna
Oof,
make it
yeah.
so subtle and clean.
Yes, if that is a true carbon hood, then you can partially paint it to have this little carbon
Yeah.
accents to show it's
Mhm.
carbon, or you can leave it full carbon. Leaving a hood full carbon,
I'm not sure what
I
the
feel
white vinyl on your windshield's doing.
nothing.
If you want white vinyl on your windshield, at least get our race banner
Yeah, like something like with it
because we
just
have a
looks
white
silly.
race banner.
Also, get rid of the stickers in the rear window. That just looks cheap. Like the
Well,
car,
I don't
He's
mind
trying
that.
to add a little
little race car to
little
it, but
flair, you know,
like
little
that,
little
do
punkiness.
do like 1 or 2 stickers, but like when you have this filled, it looks like you're trying to be on NASCAR.
He's actually
I'm
got
not on
a
it.
full ZZP build. Look at the exhaust, the brakes, the everything.
That's a good looking car. Now,
I
if
think
that,
he does a lot of autocross with it.
is that hood,
That's cool.
is that trunk carbon wrapped? If it's
It looks
carbon
like
wrapped,
it's wrapped. Yeah.
get rid of it. Get rid of the carbon wrap.
the hood looked glossy.
So
This-
I'm assuming he picked up a special edition trunk lid and it wasn't the same color. so
yeah,
he-
Paint
yeah,
it. Take the time this winter to paint it.
What an interesting color though. I
I
I
like the
like
weird
that
colors
color.
like that.
I like
because
that
when
color.
they're done right, they can be done so well.
I do like the grandpa beige on some stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that grandpa gold,
they
grandpa
didn't
beige.
make a ton of them, but
Also, you desperately need updated seats. Desperately.
I think they were
Yeah.
cloth in there.
No, they're cloth with the open thing.
with
like
the open headrest,
yeah,
like
like
the
no,
Ion.
you
yeah.
Well,
you
under
need to have
there,
a
you're
good
gonna
one.
need our Z3 kit.
I mean, there's that.
Engine bay looks nice and clean.
It does.
Yeah.
Intercooled Gen 3.
Oh, so here's another thing you can do. So your diagonal braces and your poly mount braces. Take those off, have them like sanded, and then like powder coated either a gloss black or something clean like that. Like it's just OEM stuff.
I think the silver looks really good. Like if
Or
you
you can
did
do
silver on
yeah.
the diagonal
Mhm.
braces.
Yeah, you could do silver, but I'm just saying, like, you want to keep like an OEM plus
My
kind of
two
look.
You know, the what I start to see, they look really good with the diagonal braces just taken off. It does this weird like
It
illusion.
opens up,
Yeah.
yeah.
It all of a sudden, all you can look at is the blower, and it really helps the
Yeah,
engine.
the side braces definitely detract from
Yeah.
your jewel there. In the
I can
middle.
see it. Yep.
Do they really do anything?
So you know the main reason those are there, and why they're so flimsy and cheap looking.
Yeah.
Their only job is to
'Cause
when
it's
the
a
core
GM
support
product?
comes
No.
in,
Ah.
those diagonal braces kink up
and push the hood.
and push the hood up so that the hood bends instead of going through the windshield.
Ah,
That's 100% their
The
function.
more you know.
Yeah.
So just
Man.
don't wreck it.
Yeah,
somebody,
don't
somebody,
yeah.
somebody engineered there.
Yeah.
That was-
So yeah, I love that you did black for all the hoses and all this stuff like that. I think it's very good and very close to being really good, but it's good. It's really good. Paint your front lip. If your hood, your trunk is
The
wrapped
only-
carbon, paint it. Paint
The
the
only
spoiler,
thing I
you'll
would
be good.
complain about under the hood is those diagonal braces and then maybe a wire tuck. But
Yep,
I know
other
you
than
got
that,
enough
it's-
attention to detail
All
with the wire
those,
tuck.
It's a
all those
cool
TSW
Grand Prix.
wheels, so those legit wheels too. Let's get
It's a
it.
cool Grand Prix.
I'm about it.
I
yeah,
like
get
it.
seats,
Yeah.
brother. Like
See,
the seats gotta go.
The stance is there, dude.
I would
Yeah.
love to build a friggin' GTP.
Yeah.
I just
They're
need to
cool,
find
dude.
Yeah.
a decent one that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Man, there
Mike,
was-
hit us with one more. I think we got
there was a
one
roll
more.
sale the other day.
Larry DeCipio.
Oh my God,
Hey.
Larry DeCipio. I know Larry DeCipio's car.
OG from the Cobalt.
An OG from the Cobalt
Man.
scene. All right, Larry.
I love it.
Larry's car is like a little mini snowball. It's still a
It is.
blower and all that
Oh
stuff.
no shit.
It is. Yeah, it's a blower car still.
Yeah?
It's
Oh,
it's
I didn't know it was a blower car.
That's
still.
even cooler almost.
Is this spoiler?
I mean, just like for like style
Yeah,
points,
for
like
style
I
points,
mean,
yep.
you would expect that to be some turbo swap somewhere.
Yep.
Or another.
He actually had a big ZZP logo when he changed the color.
What in the
which,
mirror is going on?
Yeah, he did some
What is
Ganador
that?
style
Are
mirrors.
they're not real Ganadors.
They're not
'cause
real
that costs
Ganadors.
more than a Cobalt does.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Hood vents killed it.
So Larry did the track car look, and he
Huh?
actually has tracked it before.
Yeah.
Which major props. He did a lot of his own custom splitters and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
I actually really do appreciate.
I do not like the canards connected to plastic. That makes me feel weird. They're not adding any downforce, and they will rip off if they ever do actually add downforce.
On the bumper,
Yeah, on the side of the bumper.
they will still, because they're grabbing from the front. They
Yeah,
will,
but it's still grabbing into plastic.
yeah, they will. But that's the most cars, even on like GT cars, are going to be in
It
the
just
bumpers.
makes me feel weird.
I-
don't like
No, they're fine.
Do you have
Those
some,
personally-
do you have some ducting in the front grill? That looks
I
cool.
personally would
Nope,
have gone
that's
with
a stock grill,
the
stock front grill.
body matched
bottom.
hood because Larry's car has been through many different iterations. If you're going through all this, like I like the matte white cream.
It's
whatever.
like a grayish thing. It's a wrap.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but why not wrap the hood to match? I don't know. I really like color matched hoods. Even
You've
though
been telling me for about 2 years not to do my hood.
your car's different.
Oh, okay. So,
I
see,
like the roof black.
Yeah.
I like the roof black. I
See-
think the black roof is good.
I think Larry, one thing I don't admit liking on the car are just I think the headlights are tinted just a shade or too dark.
much.
Mhm.
Shade or
Yeah,
two.
I would agree there.
Like if you take off a shade of that, dude, or build some quality retrofits, like I know you want to do as well.
uh-huh.
I think that's cool. I like I don't know if you saw, he has one of those old school intercooler sprays on there.
Yeah,
I
saw
think
that.
that's kind of hot
Yeah, the
sauce.
spray
That's
bars.
pretty cool.
I want to
Is
do
that
that.
what I'm seeing in the grill?
Yeah, yeah, that's the round
the
thing.
spray,
Bar, yeah.
the spray is on there just to keep temps down even further.
That's
Mhm.
Wonder
It's
That's
an
neat.
old school thing. Like no
Yeah,
one
yeah.
does anymore.
That's
They-
like
yeah,
a
was
Need
it
for
like
Speed
the-
Underground
yeah,
2
that's a-
Was
thing.
it the
Speed.
Escort or the Merker that came with those like from the factory?
I thought it was the STI.
STI had them.
Maybe it was.
Yeah,
I
STI
don't know.
did
I
have
know there was like a button where you could press it and
Yeah.
spray down your intercooler.
But see, look, like in the pick
Good
up,
wheels.
it pictures really
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I can't
I
tell.
believe-
Are they actually Kiwamis?
I think, Larry, if it's not, I'm gonna rag on you later because you messaged me about it. I believe they are actual CR2 Kais. I believe they are actually real ones. If they're not, Larry, I'm disappointed in you.
I got some real cheap versions of those on the blue car.
No,
Guess how much I paid for them?
probably 30 cents.
Like $200 from
Yeah.
Al.
So,
It was great.
but yeah, so I think the car works really well. I'm also pretty biased on those.
He's got a good theme.
Yeah. I will say though, I do think, Larry, you need to go back to your stock mirrors. The Ganondorfs,
I don't
they
think
almost
they
work.
I think it's hurting my eyes every time
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
at it.
The Ganondorfs almost work really well, but
They're
for
too angled up and
Yeah,
they
like-
Ganondorfs
kinda
work on
look like
cars
ears.
with
like
like,
cow ears.
Yeah.
yeah.
they look like the Shrek ears, like his little.
His little-
That's what it is. Yeah.
Ganondorfs work on cars with crazy body kits. On a stock body Cobalt, they don't really work that well.
Yeah.
IMO.
That's
So, but again, like that, I think line up on the shade of the headlights a bit.
You got any underhood stuff?
No. If
Yeah.
you did, I would
Come
put it
on,
in.
LJ.
Yeah, he's
Blower though, just like
it's a blower car,
yeah.
straight up blower car.
tuned up
Like,
blower
and-
car.
and
Yes,
six-
we
62
we
car.
Yeah,
remote tuned
Al's
it
remote
multiple
tuned it with
times.
him.
Has our exhaust on there. Has all of our parts. Like it's a tuned up.
Good car.
Good car.
car.
He has Corbos in there on the seat wise. He has,
Nice.
I believe, a power.
I really
harness bar.
like that his splitters go to the front crash bar.
Yeah.
Correct.
That
His
is
splitter,
ideal.
His
Love
splitter
that.
is actually a splitter, and not
They-
just on the
they,
other side.
They do things, which is
Yep.
great.
He has decent, good brakes on there. He has good seats. I think also, Larry, I got to get on you. I don't think the wing is a good. I think it's an NRG wing. We gotta get a better wing, an actual functional, proper airfoil for that thing. Later,
Looks good.
it looks good, but
Looks good.
Larry is a function guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry's a function guy. The other stuff,
Yeah,
sucks.
I'm going to a car show at the end of the month down in Orlando, Mystery Meat 6, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of that stick-on
Yeah.
aero stuff there, and I'm
Mhm.
Yep. Also,
not looking forward to it.
I'm gonna I love the track look hood, but I think it's time we actually get a real, properly molded either carbon fiber or fiberglass hood too. Like I like the track look; it does work, but in my opinion, I would just go to an actual hood that's vented.
I'm
think
here
those-
for it.
I think those vents
Again,
are
they're
good
not bad. I'm
and
not.
they're
I'm just saying if you're looking for improvements, that
They
would
are.
be the next step.
functional.
Oh,
The-
super
the
functional.
amount of air those things move.
Oh yeah, it's a ton.
Yeah, those extractors really do work.
They do work, especially on track because they're
Physics.
angled and they go through.
I
just
would
fine.
love to add some to the Regal, but then I can't auto wash it every day.
Yeah, I mean you can. It's just
You should just do the old school Buick like portholes just on the middle of the hood.
Oh,
Why did you say that?
Portholes?
No,
Yeah,
On the fender.
on the
You
Park
know, like
Avenue
the little
Ultra, you know the
ovals.
PAUs,
On the fender, but there's no air in there.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah,
air
but you
floating
put them in
around.
the hood, and then there is.
brother. My dad, I remember my dad growing up. I was like, "Dad, what are these holes in the side of the fender?" He's like, "Yup, that's for the cylinder. That gets the cylinder heat extraction out of there.
They're
That's
just,
how you know it's fast."
They're
son."
just zoomies. That's where you put the exhaust.
So, yeah.
All
So,
right.
Anywho.
all right, guys. So I think we're about out of time now. Let's talk about what we're doing over the weekend. Randall, go from you over.
Starting after this, we're gonna make an exhaust real quick. Hopefully, get the exhaust out of my Buick, and then I could drive it home tonight. That'd be ideal.
Paul, Randy is doing the world's first Z04 Encore.
Yeah,
Buick
it's-
Encore.
World's highest horsepower.
World's highest
World's
horsepower.
highest. We're gonna take it to the quarter. We're gonna have the world's fastest Encore. And then
Records are records.
records are records. Yep. And then Saturday, I think we got dinner and stuff. And then Sunday, if I play my cards right, I'm gonna go pick up some new wheels for the Encore.
Hey.
There you go.
And they're legit.
Yep. Legit wheels. Only legit wheels here. I don't do the fake boys.
My people.
I'm not good at it.
Bo's, you're gonna be on one table. Bo's already working on his legit wheels too.
Yep.
I don't know. I love my cheap wheels. I'm gonna stay after, hang out with Randy, work on this thing with Curtis,
Yeah.
and then tomorrow, jam packed, AM to PM, stuff to do,
Get wrecked.
Halloween party. I don't know,
Yeah.
some other stuff, and then Sunday, I would love to work on the base model, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
Where are we
I
sitting
don't-
on the old base?
Ooh. It's mostly sitting on Jack's.
Remember
stage
the
right
last
now.
time you saw
it?
Hasn't moved.
It's the same.
I
I put the rear suspension on the other
Winter is here.
We put
it
the
is pretty
easiest
much
part
here.
together.
Yeah, I put the 4 bolts. Yeah.
Oh my
I did that
God.
the other day.
Also, yes, the Encore's all-wheel drive.
Anyway,
What about
I
you,
am
Boca?
literally hopping in the car to run home, and then we're driving 2.5 hours north to a wedding.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Bo's
right.
on the Tyler schedule
I
this year.
am,
Yeah,
man.
yes.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be cool. We got an Airbnb. We're gonna be chilling and hanging with a bunch of Sarah's family, and
Nice.
Cool.
and then swinging home Monday to catch the Lions game with some other family.
Oh,
So
no,
I
no
will
way, no
be
way. All right.
I will be up and down and all around, and then back here in no time.
Yeah.
Moose is getting miles on it then.
Yeah, we're actually taking the HHR
Oh,
because we're
HH
taking
car.
the Doggo, and Doggo
'cause
don't ride
Doggo.
Moose.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Berlin.
Doug-
I forget.
Yep.
Sorry.
I am, of course, as per usual, D&D Saturday. That's every weekend. I picked up another game on Thursdays for some other friends. pumped. I'm actually doing something I haven't done in like a few years. Going to IHOP with my son. I'm gonna pick him up from his mom's house, and
You need to go to Denny's.
guys, if you next time IHOP versus Denny's, if you say Denny's, I'll fire you, and I'm not selling you parts anymore. Denny's trash. Don't ever.
IHOP.
Next week,
Denny's.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing that.
This
So
isn't a Denny's.
yeah, doing a lot of house cleaning this week, and I think I'm gonna probably try to hit like an orchard or something this weekend too. Maybe.
Ooh, that's some
Domesticated
fall
white
stuff.
I know fall stuff. You know,
That's
time
some WPS for
Yep.
sure.
WPS for sure. But do that. A lot of house cleaning. I need to power wash a few things.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna try to have some fun this weekend, boys. Take Snow and ATS off for probably one of their last hurrahs for that S word.
Feeling that. Feeling that.
The-
Man.
Jordan, Denny's, yes.
Jordan, you're
Mike,
fired.
cut it there. That's all
Jordan,
we
you're
need.
fired. Jordan, you're fired. Go away. Go home. I'm not selling you parts anymore. Guys, have a great weekend. From your host, Ryan Derrick, not Tyler. I'm your host today. I'll see you next time.
He's wrong.